Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranam Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranams Mataji, Hare Krishna, Ellar.
Pranam Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranams Mataji.
Sadar Pranam Mataji.
All Matajis and Prabhujis, Pranams, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Pranam Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Pranams Mataji, Pranams.
Pranam Mataji.
Pranams Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Pranam Mataji, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranams Mataji. Okay, today we are going to see the 8th sloka before going to the session. So let us start with the prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet. Nashtaprayeshu Badareshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevayam Bhavatya Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjanaya Shalakaya Shakshurunmilitam Yena Tashmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Tada Swapadandikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanishute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpadarupyasya Kripa Sindhupya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Yadvaita Gadadhara Shrivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Himati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nidhi Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharni Nirvishesha Shunyavade Paschitaya Deshadarine Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, reading from Bhagavadham, 5th canto. So, we are walking through the 14th chapter. Correct now? So, what is the title of this chapter? Can anyone?
Forest of material enjoyment.
Forest of material
Forest of material
enjoyment.
enjoyment.
A forest of material. So now we are in the 8th sloka. So can anyone give some summary of this chapter? Few lines. So what actually this defines?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yes, please.
This chapter is started with it is the forest of Bhavarogam. So regarding this, Parikshit Maharaj asks Sukadeva Goswami, and Sukadeva Goswami answers that it's like a businessman who is constantly involved in money earning. His attachment is only to that.
Yes.
Then he will be in this forest, Bhava forest. Then he will sell the things like the wood and mud and all that. And he will bring it to city and he will sell it. So like that, with little profit of materialistic benefit, he will be entering into
Yes.
this material world,
Yes.
and he doesn't know how to get out of that.
Yes.
Then
Yes.
that material world, this soul will be in this material world. Then he will be affected by this Maya of Vishnu
Yes.
Bhagavan.
Yes.
Then with that, in this forest, he will be living alone with the illusion. Then he does not have the association of the devotees, Mataji.
Yes.
Because of the effect of the Maya and the Triguna, he will be with that body and this Deham is everything and he doesn't know that there is a soul and spiritual soul is there. So he will be mostly in the Deha Bhavana. Then sometimes he will go to heaven and sometimes he will live in the earth and sometimes he will go into still lower worlds.
Yes.
Like that, with different bodies he will be wearing and he will be always miserable.
Yes.
Then sometimes the miseries are too much, sometimes it may be less.
Yes.
This is all because of this mental concoction only.
Yes.
Because
So
of the mind and
yes.
the five senses, he is getting all these different types of bodies and circumstances.
Yes.
Then by
Actually,
using them, he will be suffering from these material miseries.
yes, it's he will
What
be
I,
permanently he will be rotating in the birth and death cycle.
then he
So
will be
as yes,
searching for the relief, and sometimes he gets relief, and sometimes he will be in the conflict
yes,
of the life.
yes. So
The only
basically, this
problem is he doesn't have the association with those devotees
devotees.
who will to have Vishnu Pada Padma Seva.
Yes. So last chapter, there was a conversation between the great sage Jadabharat and the King Raghugana. So wherein whatever the questions asked by King Raghugana, it was answered in a very nice way, wherein that defines the very much indirect way of giving the answers actually. And King Raghugana was in that particular level of platform wherein he was able to understand Jadabharata's answers. It was indirect, wherein Parikshit Maharaj now has at the end of the chapter of the last chapter, that is 13th chapter, he puts those are the indirect answers, wherein for me, I would like to hear from you the direct way of giving the things, because most of them are allegorically explained actually. So here, this chapter is being the conversation between Sukadev Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj, and he wants the whatever the questions has been asked by Raghugana, for that answer he is expecting in a very direct way. So that's why this material life is considered, and it has been given very direct hit. A sage will always give the answers very directly, so the householders actually, so that it will reach to them, and then they should act accordingly. So that is one of the qualities of a great sage. So here Sukadeva Goswami gives a direct hit, wherein the living entity is very much inclined towards the materialistic benefits, and then he doesn't know that is his soul, and then he earns money for the comfortness of his life and his family, the dependencies. So all those things, that is like the person who is in the forest, and then he will be taking the whatever the materials available there, and then he will pull out, and then he will sell it he will take in a very low cost, and then he will sell it for a very high cost. So with the high profit margin, he want to lead a luxury life, wherein he is giving the pleasure to his senses and to his family. So this thing will never give any end to this life in the material world. So we will be always coming back because of our material attachment. So like this, Sukadeva Goswami is explaining, and we are entering into this 8th sloka. Whoever wants to recite, I request you to raise your hands. Subbarao Prabhuji, please recite this sloka.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Adha Kadachin Paniya. Dravinadyanekatmopajivanabi. निवेशयेतस्यां संसाराटव्यां मितस्ततः परिधावति.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yes. Vijay Kumari Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare
Pranam
Krishna.
Mataji.
Pranam.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Ada Kadasini Vasa Pani Yadravanadi Anehatmo Bhajivana Abhi Nivesa Yedasham Samsaradavyam Idas Paridavadi. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Yes. Revati Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी प्रणाम माताजी ओम
Pranam.
नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय अथ कथचिन्नवास पानीयद्रावणदेन कात्मो जीवन अभिनवेश यदस्यं संसारडाव्या मिदस्ततः परितावती हरे कृष्ण माताजी थैंक यू वेरी मच
Yes, Madhu Mai Krishna Kant Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी प्रणाम
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Mataji.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय अथ कदाचिन्निवास पानीय द्रविणादि अनेक आत्मोपजीवन अभिनिवेशः एतस्यां संसार अटव्याम् इतस्ततः परिधावति. थैंक यू माताजी.
Thank you, Mataji. Anjali Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
कदाचित् निवास पानीय द्रविण आदि अनेका आत्मा उपजीवन अभिनिवेश एतस्यां संसारा आटव्यम् इतः ततः परिधावति. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Prafulla Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Pranam Mataji.
Pranam
Om
Mataji.
भगवते वासुदेवाय अथः कदाचित् निवास पानीय द्रवणादि अनेकात्मो जीवन अभिनिवेश तस्त्वां संसाराटव्याम् इतस्ततः परिधावति. हरे कृष्ण माताजी. थैंक यू माताजी.
Thank you, Mataji. Chitra Mohini Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी
Hare
ओम
Krishna.
नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय अत कदाचिन्निवास पानीय द्रवीण आद्य अनेकात्मोप जीवनाभिनिवेश एतास्यं संसाराट व्यामि इतस्ततः परिधावति. हरे कृष्ण माताजी.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yes. Pushpa Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Ada Kadachinnivasa Paneya Trivinadi Anek Atmano Bhajivana Vinivesayedasyam Samsarada Avyam Idas Paridavadi. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank
Hare
you,
Krishna
Mataji.
Mataji. Madhu Soni Mataji. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी. दंडवत प्रणाम माताजी.
Pranam Mataji.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय अथ कदाचिन्निवास पानीय द्रवीणाद्य अनेकात्मोपजीवना अभिनिवेश एतस्याम संसाराट्व्यामितस्ततः परिधावति. थैंक यू माताजी. हरे कृष्ण.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna. So, Ata Kadachin Nivasa Dravinadaya Anekatmo Upajivanabhini Nivesha Ethashyam Samsara Atvayam Itastatha Aridhavati. Synonyms. Ata, in this way. Katachit, sometimes. Nivasha, residence. Paniya, water. Dravina, wealth. Adi, and so on. Aneka, in various items. Atma upajivana, which are considered necessary to maintain body and soul together. Abhinivesha, so the person fully observed. Etashyam, in this. Samsara atavyam, the material world, which is like a great forest. Ita tatha, here and there. Paridhavati, runs around. It's very nicely given in the synonyms. Yes, we are also always running here and there only. So whenever we are into crisis, we are searching for the solutions immediately, correct now? So at that time, immediately we may not be able to think. Sometimes we may think Krishna, sometimes we will be totally absorbed in that problem, and then we may forget Krishna also to ask for the path. So it is very nicely given here. Sometimes the conditional soul, translation by is Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. So sometimes the conditional soul is observed in finding residential quarters or apartments and getting a supply of water and riches to maintain his body. Observed in acquiring a variety of necessities. This word is very, very nicely given here. Yes, we are most of the times we'll forget everything. Everything we'll forget and will get observed to acquire many things which will help us to have a sophisticated life. That's what we are always behind actually. He forgets everything and perpetually runs around the forest of material existence. Yes, in this material world, we are always running. So to search, to fulfill certain desires, and then we'll be totally that is engaged in that. We'll forget our presence of mind also, the surrounding atmosphere also we will forget. So that much level we will be involved in the materialistic thing. Purport, as originally mentioned, a poor man belonging to the mercantile community, that is Vaishya, goes to the forest to get some cheap goods. So the current situation of a Vaishya is related to this only. So in Vaishya, he will sell anything he is capable of selling. Whatever the quality it may be, he will be very much, have that qualities, how to sell this. He will make money. So get cheap goods to bring back to the city to sell at a profit, very high profit they will be doing. He is so observed in the thought of maintaining body. So originally, what are the responsibilities of a Vaishya? He has to take care of the cows, he has to take care of the farming lands. So all those things he has to take care, and then he has to come to the mercantile, correct? But nowadays, trading is the major thing, wherein the person who generates that is whatever the food items or whatever the items it may be, he has to sell it to the market in a very, very low margin. Sometimes the farmers will get hit also in that. Whereas the person who purchases from the farmer and resells to the end customer has the huge value, huge profit. So here that is how actually the cheap goods are being sold with a very high profit actually. So the trading is they are minting money in the trading. He is so observed in the thought of maintaining. So why actually they are selling to that high value? So that they have an expectation. They have an expectation to sell to that is a margin. So how much profit they'll get? Their focus is only on earning money, not to serve the society. That type of mentality is very, very less nowadays. If you go for an organic product, that will have a huge value. So sometimes it has been cheated also in name of organic products. That's how we always see in the market, if I'm right. I think you are also experiencing the same now. So when we go to the organic shop, we think that they would have been done in a very good way and they would have put a manure in the organic way. All those things we will expect, and then we'll go there. But along with some of the organic products, there will be a normal products also, and it will be like a little bit different brand, and then they will be selling. So there is nothing like organic brands, they are taking care. Only few will be like organic, and it will be more costly because of the maintenance and how they cultivate that. But so obviously the huge margins, whatever the Vaishya is earning, what is the purpose of that? The intention is he has to earn more. So when he has the intention of towards the material profit, obviously that is purely for the sense gratification only. That is, they want to utilize for their maintaining their body. So bodies and the soul together, that he forgets his original relationship with Krishna and sees only the bodily comforts. So his aim is to achieve only the body comforts. When a person is towards inclined only for the bodily comforts, means ultimately you would have forgotten what is the spiritual path, who he is, that is a soul, everything you would have forgotten. Thus, material activities are the conditioned soul's only engagement. That's how the current world is rolling. It's revolving around. About at least 95% of the current world is revolving towards that only. Not knowing the aim of life. So the ultimate aim of life is to serve the Supreme. That one thing we always forget. The materialist perpetually wanders in the material existence, struggling to get the necessities of the life. Yes, in every phase of life we are seeing. Correct na? When you are getting married, we want the best spouse, and then we want everything to be perfect. Actually, correct na? She should be beauty, and then she should take care of the family in a very humble manner, and then treat his parents in a very good way, like that. That is the expectation of a guy, and even the girl also will have an expectation like this. Everything will be in the materialistic comfort. After having a baby, they have a plan. Yes, we should bring our kid in a very, very higher way, and then we have to put in a very big schools. So like that, we have more expectations. So that will be both the people will go for the job, and then they will be earning more, and then they'll putting in a high standards, and ultimately the core values of the life, that is what has to be taught to the kid, will go missing actually, because the intention is to give more comfort to the material things, to develop the skills, to put him in a very good school, bringing up in a very high-fi environment, because there the comparison level also starts. So the other student is having something facility, means even our kid also will come and ask. That's because they spend major time in the school, and this is how actually happens. And then father also will be striving to earn more, and mother also will be struggling. Ultimately, the basic affection, sharing, relationship, and what relation needs to be established with the Supreme, all those teachings and all is majorly missing actually. Very few families are very much inclined to give all those things to the kids when they are in the young age. So when a kid is given those type of knowledge in the very young age, that kid will survive anywhere in any part of the life. But we are not teaching that survival in any part of the life with only the spiritual thing. That part is really missing, because we are running behind the earning of money. See, I'm not telling that we should not earn money, or we should not survive, but we should see that what is the optimum requirement for our family, and then what needs to be done, what needs to be taken care. That part we are able to take it up, and then we become a self-contained in the material thing, and then perform that is a service to the Supreme Lord. So that will help a peaceful life in this. Even though a person lives here, that is, he will be in a very peaceful way. So their life will be very self-contained. Whereas a person who will be very much behind the materialistic necessities of the life will always be struggling at any phase of the life. And then whatever the solution, he will be certainly checking for the materialistic solution, not understanding the aim of life. So the ultimate goal of life is to serve the Supreme. That is the priority. So that part we are missing to the utmost. And even though he acquires sufficient necessary, still he will be striving. So he will not have the satisfaction. So at one point of time, he becomes self-contained in the material also. He won't work actually. He will stop working, and then he will sit and he will rejoice. So only the materialistic benefits. He manufactures artificial necessities. Very nice word is this actually. Yes, we are developing the needs in artificial way. Whichever is the basic requirement, only if we address that is sufficient. If we have that mindset of, obviously our energy can be utilized in the service of the Lord. But we totally forget, and thus becomes more and more entangled. So we are making more tied up with the rope of the three modes actually. Correct now? We have that in the 14th chapter, there is a pictorial representation. So wherein all the three ropes will be pulling each other. Correct now? So he creates a mental situation whereby he needs greater and greater comforts. So here the materialistic comforts are given more priority. The materialist doesn't know the secret of nature ways. So obviously he's blind. So he's blind towards the spiritual things, whereas he is only inclined towards the material. So he is increasing his material comforts day by day by working hard, by striving hard actually. Hare Krishna. So the materialist doesn't know the secret of nature ways. This is a very nice sentence actually. So those who are only in the materialistic, they will never know what is the secret of the nature ways to be self-contained and leading a peaceful life. In Bhagavad Gita 3.27, Prakrite Kriyamanani. So why? What is the reason behind this? Guna Karmani Sarvashaha Ahankara Vimudatma Kartaham Iti Manyate. Because we feel we are the doer. So we forget. So the bewildered spiritual soul, that is the soul is a spiritual entity, wherein when he focuses only on the material comforts, he will at point of time, he'll become anxiety, he will be bewildered, he will be falling in the delusion, all those things happen. So under which influence? Under the modes of that is 3 modes, thinks himself to be the doer. He will be always thinking that I only did this. So he'll be always expressing also, this is because of me happened. So that I factor always implies the false ego. Thinks himself to be the doer of the activities which are actually carried out by the nature. Because the modes, 3 modes are only in action. Bodily, the person who is in the bodily platform, he may be thinking that he is the doer, but ultimately he is not the doer. He is made to perform that action because he is under the spell of the 3 modes, one of the modes, due to the lusty desire. So reason behind is that is the trust. The living entity creates a certain mental situation, whereas he wants to enjoy this material world. Thus he becomes entangled and he will be coming back again and he will be taking different bodies and then he suffers. He doesn't know why he is suffering. He doesn't know what way he is enjoying. Is it a real enjoyment? All those things, it is a temporary one. He will never come. Okay. So with this, I'm concluding today's class. If you have any doubts or any realization, I humbly request you to put forward and then let us have a discussion. Any doubts also? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
What is the difference between soul and jiva? Is there any difference?
No, both are same. Both are same. Different nomenclature. Soul is in the English, it's an English word. Jiva is like Sanskrit, or in any language also it will be represented like that only. Prabhuji. Both are same.
What I am getting is based on whatever different readings here in Bhagavatam.
Okay.
Jiva,
Okay.
I find whenever it is a conditioned soul,
Yes.
whereas soul is that pure soul. Or is it something like that? Or is it
the original,
imagination?
Okay. The original quality of the soul is a spirit. That means full and full eternal, and it is spiritual actually. So its characteristics is it's a free actually. It is not a condition. So it is a liberated one. Whereas we are actually entangled into these 3 modes and then making a covering on the soul, and then it becomes condition. Condition is not the permanent situation of the soul. It's not the eternal situation of a soul. The eternal situation of a soul is always liberated. Whereas we are making that soul to be conditioned by attaching with the materialistic intentions and enduring for that. So obviously in one of the 3 modes, this that is because of this soul getting embodied in the body, it will perform some actions. The mind, intelligence and the senses, everything will get involved in that. But soul doesn't get involved in those actions. Only it will, if you are seeing, so you will get a desire. The desiring part is the mistake. So because of that, it will get according to the 3 modes, whichever mode that particular living entity is getting inclined. So he will be performing the action accordingly, and then it will get entangled. It's getting entangled. It is not an entangled soul. We are making the soul to get entangled actually. So it is a conditioning. So soul is always in the liberated phase only. So it is eternal servant. He knows that, but because we get into this world and then in this illusion, we are getting attracted and then we feel liking, and then so I think in the second chapter we have seen now that last we'll have the desiring, and then that mental concoction will happen, and obviously the senses also will work, and then when this living entity tries to achieve, and then if it fails, he will get anger, correct? We will go enter into the bewildered mode, delusion, and then he will finally he will be in the mess. Actually, he will fall down. So the basic thing is because of the desiring. So that's why the desiring part we should have the control actually. So what to desire is very, very important in this material world. So which is making the bond to the material world, that those type of desires actually we need to slowly by practice of the bhakti, we need to become perfection. So soul is always in the liberated mood, Prabhuji. It has never been in the condition. It is not the condition, is not the permanent characteristics of the soul. It's been made condition by our lusty desires. Hare Krishna. Any other doubts or realizations? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I have realization
Yes,
like
Mataji.
same thing has been explained in so many ways, Mataji. Every
Yes.
verse is like,
Yes.
like
Yes.
how like perpetually runs around the forest of material existence.
Yes, we are doing, Mataji. Are we not doing? Are we not doing? At least to
Yes.
an extent, now we are little able to discriminate because of the Krishna conscious. We are in a very initial phase still. We are able to analyze where we are doing wrong. To that level, at least, we should say thanks to NND Prabhuji for giving this platform to discuss and hear Shravanam, Kirtana, everything we are able to engage because of His mercy. And our Srila Prabhupada, Guru Parambara's mercy and Krishna's mercy, we are able to take it up. But before coming to Krishna consciousness, are we not in that mode? Actually, yes, it is there. So once you get saturated in the material, you will develop hatredness will be there. That is what is there. That type of hatredness will get developed. Everything is saturated. Nothing we need to. So that type of situation also happens. That is because of these three modes only we are always getting entangled. Okay. And finally, if you get a right path through some, that is the spiritual master, then your path will be in the right track. So until you reach to the spiritual master, your path is like here and there wandering only. Even if you take in a materialistic way, if you are a kids, actually, they also will be wandering. If teacher is in the class, she'll be strict and then she'll be scolding you, sit there. So like that. So we also need to take such type of instruction. Then obviously the track will be in the right way. So else we will also be wandering. It's very nicely given in this purport. So many artificial desires. Yes, that is artificial desires, whichever is comforting us in that time and that particular situation, we are always wandering for that. So sometimes we may think this is not required, and still we'll be forced to do that also. Correct? Now, even though we are not much inclined to do that thing, sometimes for sake of our family or something, we'll be doing that. So that is there. So we need to understand that where we are getting entangled. So the soul is never in the condition, permanent condition phase. We are putting the soul in the condition mode because of the association with the three modes, and whenever we are missing the devotee, like Subbarao Prabhuji was mentioning in the very beginning, yes, we should have a association, devotee association. If we are not in the devotee association, the spiritual path elevation will be very, very tough. It will be tough. Hare Krishna.
Yes. And second powerful line, Mataji, it has given the materialist doesn't
Yes.
know the secret of natures.
Yes.
Like it may be in two stages, Mataji. First, like one is completely in ignorant way, like
Yes.
doesn't know anything, and
Yes.
second, we know everything and we just avoid it and ignore it, Mataji.
Yes, yes, because we are 95% we are in the mode of fashion and ignorance combination also we are in. Correct now? Because of that only, we'll be thinking, yes, I am the doer, I know everything, whatever I think and whatever I put forward is the right way. So that I factor will be more with us. So we never think we are a dependent soul on that's Krishna, and then we should act according to the guidance of Krishna. Those part and all we are always missing. So that's the reason, Mataji. It's very nicely given, this particular part. It's very, very awesome. Actually, it has
Thank
more meanings. I am not in that very high platform. So whatever little I am able to understand, and then I have been here put forward actually. Hare Krishna. So it's having a deep meaning. I think maybe Prema Mataji would have been there, means she would have put even more depth, I feel. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
So
Mataji.
yes, if there are no other doubts, so we'll close this class actually, today's class. Vanchakalpadarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Namachari Haridas Thakur ki jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you all for joining this morning session. Thank you all. Hare Krishna.